of these citizens were walking.
Guys, security in the same.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and over the next half hour, we're going to be getting you all the updates coming in from Manipur. And we'll also tell you about the monsoon updates from across the country. First, as always, let's begin with the headlines. BJP hits out at Rahul Gandhi's Manipur visit, calls it an attempt to incite violence. Congress claims Rahul convoy deliberately blocked by the Manipur government. Political showdown over Prime Minister's UCC pitch. Stalin Akali hit out at Prime Minister Modi. AAP extends support to centre's UCC plan. Monsoon mayhem across India. Massive landslide in Uttarakhand. Killer tree fall kills teen in Mumbai. Day after calling Siddaramaiah a scared CM, GKS now fires another fresh salvo. Says some work hard, others enjoy the privilege. Amit Shah kicks off Mission 2024 in Bihar just days after mega opposition meeting in Patna. Says Nitish Kumar should rethink RJD alliance. And wreckage of Ocean Gate's Titanic submersible retrieved in Canada. Possible human remains of 5 civilians also found in the wreckage. And let's begin with breaking news coming in. After hours of drama, Rahul Gandhi currently is at the destination that he wanted to head to in Manipur, in Churachandpur, where he's at a relief camp interacting with people who've been affected because of the violence. He's also now tweeted out, and I'm going to read out from his first reaction. He says, I came to listen to all my brothers and sisters of Manipur. People of all communities are being very welcoming and loving. It's unfortunate that the government is stopping me. Manipur needs healing. Peace has to be our only priority. So Rahul Gandhi blaming the government, saying they've attempted to stop me from visiting Manipur, but he claims that people of all communities have been very welcoming and loving. He is currently in Churachandpur. Those pictures on your screens of Rahul Gandhi at a relief camp. Moshmi Singh is joining us from Imphal. She's been getting us all the updates on Rahul Gandhi's visit. Moshmi, tell us where Rahul Gandhi is at right now. He's also tweeted saying peace is our only priority, slamming the government, saying everyone in Manipur has been extremely welcoming of my visit.
Right, so Rahul Gandhi there, that's he's broken his silence. Since morning he hasn't responded on camera, and that's the first time after what happened in Bishnupur while he was heading to Churachandpur via road that Rahul Gandhi has said that the Manipur government is trying to stop me, which is unfortunate. So interestingly, Rahul Gandhi decided to take the chopper route. And that was also suggested by the administration. But we will have to wait and see how Rahul really manages to meet the other community that is actually pitched against Kuki tribal community, because the Metis were supposed to be in Morenga, where Rahul Gandhi was supposed to go, but perhaps there is a change of plan, Akshita, and now they will be meeting the Meitei victims here in Imphal itself. But clearly Rahul Gandhi, saying that peace has to be priority, trying to say that Congress is here to heal.
Moshmi, what's really been the reaction in places like Churachandpur? Has there been any protests or any sort of tension in these areas when Rahul Gandhi is visited?
See, so Churachandpur, as Rahul Gandhi also highlighted, though there have been no reports of protest, more so Rahul Gandhi was supposed to go and visit those camps where refugees were staying or those who've been victim of violence are staying. So, and he will also be meeting the civil society members, trying to get a larger sense of what fault lines are being drawn between two communities and what are the fault lines and what is driving them to this kind of violence, which is unparalleled and unscaled earlier before. So clearly Rahul Gandhi here trying to pitch the Congress as a party that hears both sides, is here to listen to the victims, listen to the people of Manipur. And perhaps somewhere that's one reason also, that the BJP is calling out the cards, calling out the Congress party for playing politics.
All right, Moushami, thanks for getting us that update. We'll keep cutting across to you for the live updates on Rahul Gandhi's visit currently. Remember, it's a 2-day trip after being initially blocked off from the road, and he was in fact advised to take a chopper. Rahul Gandhi tried to go by road, was stopped, and after heading back to the airport, now via chopper, has reached Churachandpur. Let's get you some reactions from the ground. Part of the delegation accompanying Rahul Gandhi is Congress leader Dr. Ajay Kumar. He spoke to Moushami. Here's what he said.
We are joined by senior Congress leader Dr. Ajay Kumar, and we'll take his reactions. Sir, whatever happens throughout the day, what message are you trying to give to the public?
Look, Mr. Gandhi came to listen to the voice of the people of Manipur and to try to listen to their problem and bring the story back to the mainstream media and mainstream India. His visit at least has generated again, Manipur had disappeared from the news cycle. BJP has been trying to do it. We want people to realize that there is a state which has got only 28 lakh population. It is as big as the Southwest Delhi Lok Sabha seat. In that seat, 50,000 people have become homeless. 200 people and more than 200 have died. How thousands have burnt, houses have got burnt. And more tragic, there is not a single Kuki person in the valley, and there is not a single Maiti person in the hills. Not a single. The previous Director General of Police has left. He's not retired, he's left. If that is the situation, and people who are the doctors who are working in and people, government officials in the hills from the Maiti community have all come to the back because they can't stay there. The loss on both the sides have been incredible, horrible. Both people have suffered, and Mr. Modi cannot find time. So our idea was to go and visit the people in Morang, where the Maiti people have been there, displaced in large numbers, and in Churachandpur, where the Kukis have come in big numbers in the relief camp. And for India, now see, throughout the day, Manipur has become a news. Our idea is for the rest of India to see what's happening with our brothers and sisters in Manipur.
But that's what the BJP is slamming you for, the politics of it all.
This is what.
This is
not what. No, I can't understand.
Rahul Gandhi has no business. On what locus standi does Rahul Gandhi have to go to the?
No.
What are they asking?
No. First question is, as a national leader, if there is a violence in a state, would not any self-respecting leader come? Why did...
Okay, so we'll get you more reactions from the Congress. But what played out over the last few hours? What was the situation when Rahul Gandhi's convoy tried to make its way through the roads towards Churachandpur? Let's run you through those images. Rahul Gandhi's convoy was stopped in Bishnupur, which is about 20 kilometers from Imphal. Locals were seen staging protests. Some were also Congress supporters who wanted Rahul Gandhi to be able to visit them. Rahul Gandhi was headed at that point to Churachandpur district, which is one of the worst hit areas since ethnic violence flared across Manipur. He has now successfully reached there via chopper. Now, according to the police, Rahul Gandhi's convoy was stopped at Bishnupur with security concerns. The Bishnupur SP said that the convoy was stopped because there was the possibility of a grenade attack along the highway via which Rahul was travelling. As the protests intensified, Rahul also faced go-back slogans by protesters who tried to break through the barricades. They were seen raising placards saying, "Want peace, not politics." Manipur police also were seen firing tear gas to disperse protesters who had gathered near Rahul Gandhi's convoy in Bishnupur. It's unclear who these protesters were. Clearly they were locals, but were they in support of Rahul or against? After facing massive backlash, Rahul Gandhi went back to the airport in Imphal from Bishnupur. From there, he took the prefixed program via chopper as recommended by the cops earlier, which Rahul ignored first. And as Maushmi continues to get us all the live updates from the ground, I also want to bring in on this broadcast Afrida Hussain, who's with the India Today Northeast, so has very closely tracked what's happening in Manipur. There's a section, Afrida, good evening to you, who are in fact blaming the Congress for what's happening right now in Manipur. Can you explain that for us? What's the sentiment over Rahul Gandhi's visit? Because there are some who are against him visiting.
See, there are two types of sentiment when there's some both the communities, the Meitei and the Kuki, where one community is happy with the Rahul Gandhi's visit, and there are some resentments in, particularly in one community, not all the sections of that particular community, that is Meitei, but it's not like that there are people are unhappy with the Rahul Gandhi's visit, as the Prime Minister Modi is still silent in the last 57 days. The people are very, both the communities are now have voiced out regarding the questioning the Prime Minister Modi's silence. And during that time, the Rahul Gandhi has visited Manipur today, and he has arrived at around 11 a.m. After reaching the capital Imphal. Gandhi was on his way to the Churachandpur to meet the people living in the relief camp when his convoy was stopped in the Bishnupur, and protests erupted in the Bishnupur, and the local clashed with the police, and the police then fired the tear gas to disperse the protesters, and the Rahul Gandhi had to go back to the airport to take a helicopter to the Churachandpur. Now the latest is that Rahul Gandhi has reached Churachandpur through a chopper, and he then visited two relief camps, namely Greenwood Relief Camp and in Tuibong, and Government College in Yangtam. And after this, he will meet the CSO leaders and the victim families at YPA Hall at Yangtam, Churachandpur.
Okay, Afrida, thanks very much for joining us with those updates. So clearly at this point, things are very, very tense and very sensitive on the ground. But Rahul Gandhi's gone about his schedule, which is good news because it shows that there is some sense of control also by the forces. Thanks, Afrida, for joining us with those details. Let's round up for our viewers all that's happened in the last few hours. A lot of drama that unfolded after Rahul Gandhi landed at the Imphal airport. He was allowed to leave from the airport in his convoy, but it was when he was about 20 kilometers from Imphal, as he was heading to Churachandpur, that he was stopped by cops. They said it's not safe for him to go any further. Let's play out for you all that happened.
Go back Rahul's slogans. Tires burning on the road. Barricades broken. Tear gas fired, protesters clashing with police. Violence hit Manipur, witnessed a fresh bout of violence soon after Rahul Gandhi landed in Manipur.
You can see that the entire road has been blocked here. The police say it's an absolute no as of now because there has been firing ahead. There have been incidents of violence yesterday, and that's one reason that Rahul Gandhi's security is of paramount importance.
Rahul Gandhi's visit to violence struck Manipur was quick to hit a major roadblock. Then he insisted on taking the road route to violence epicenter of Churachandpur. Rahul's convoy was stopped 20 kilometers from Imphal in Bishnupur. Protesters backing Rahul Gandhi tried to break through the barricades in Bishnupur. En route to Imphal, several protesters who lined up Rahul's route were seen chanting Rahul Go Back slogans. Cops were seen pleading with urging Congress leaders to abandon the road trip and take chopper to Churachandpur.
Other than we fighting like cats and dogs.
We don't need to fight, sir. Actually, we are actually requesting you
It says
to
if we
allow
are
us to proceed. Our leader Rahul Ji is coming here to meet people.
Since morning, I heard firing has taken place when villagers from the valley side had gone towards the hills. If I go within my jurisdiction close to the border with 5-6 vehicles, the message or the rather rumor that is spread across is now miscreants seem to have come to attack Churachandpur side, Churachandpur villages.
You're saying that Rahul Gandhi's cavalcade can spread a rumor?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Several Congress supporters too fought with police to let Rahul Gandhi take the road route. Stopped by the unrest on his route, Rahul held huddle with local Congress leaders.
No, they are intentionally blocking this. Block करने का बोला है सर.
Okay. Purposefully.
हाँ, purpose political. Nothing is there.
They will not move in. Let one of our representatives go with them to see the blockade. Show us the blockade. Show us the blockade.
Okay. Yeah, I will ask.
That would be.
I will ask to the ESP. I will ask to the ESP and the sir.
While Congress backed Rahul's visit and attacked Modi government for stopping his visit, the BJP hit back, describing Rahul's behavior highly irresponsible.
I always say Rahul and responsibility never travel together. यही अगर राहुल जी सुबह करते, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की बात मानते, हेलीकॉप्टर से चुराचांदपुर जाते, तो आज मणिपुर, आज जो टीयर गैस चले हैं, आज जो स्थिति थोड़ा तनावपूर्ण इंफाल में बना है, ये मणिपुर में नहीं होता।
उस काफिले को क्यों रोका गया? पहले इसी प्रशासन ने कहा आप बाय रोड जा सकते हैं, वहां से उनको रोक दिया जाता है, और प्रशासन जिसने परमिशन दी थी, ऑब्वियसली उनके पास ऊपर से फोन आता है, उनके पास तानाशाहों का फोन आता है, किसी से मुलाकात करना आज पाप है।
After massive drama and pitched battle, Rahul Gandhi finally relented and took a chopper to Churachandpur. With Mausami Singh in Churachandpur, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what's the situation currently while Rahul Gandhi is in Churachandpur? Are tensions still high? Are there still protests like what you see on your screens right now from just a few hours ago in Manipur? Mausami Singh gets you this latest report.
Heavy drama unfolded in Manipur with the Congress accusing the Manipur police of acting at the behest of its political masters. With this, the Congress is hoping to put the central government on the dock. Even as the BJP would like to downplay Rahul Gandhi's visit, clouds of trouble brewing over Manipur for the BJP certainly are not a good omen before the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. With video journalist Pawan, this is Mausami Singh in Imphal for India Today.
And with that, I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. On the other side, we're putting our focus on what's happening in Karnataka, where the Congress government has gone back on the Anna Bhagya scheme. Instead of rice, they'll now distribute cash to people belonging to the below poverty line. Details on that coming your way in just a bit.
Best colleges of the country. Which one will boost your aspirations? From courses to placements, know them all. India Today Best Colleges Survey 2023. Issue out this Friday, 23rd June. Subscribe now to indiatoday.in/subscribe.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's plain speak on Pakistan and China. This time in a conversation, he clearly said that at this point, it is a difficult relationship that India has with China, and before terrorism is ended, nothing can really become normal with Pakistan. He's basically asserted that cross-border terrorism cannot become a basis to start a discussion with Pakistan, adding that India-Pakistan relations will continue to remain strained until they stop the cross-border terrorism. Calling China a difficult neighbor, he said it's the state of border that will determine the state of relationship between the two nations. Also referring to India's ties with China, he said it is currently in a difficult phase. He was basically addressing a town hall meeting at India International Centre in Delhi, where the Foreign Affairs Minister spoke about ties between India, Pakistan, China. Listen in to an excerpt.
We recognize it's a neighbor, it's a big neighbor, today a very significant economy and significant power. But at the end of the day, any relationship has to be based on a high degree of mutuality. There has to be a respect for each other's interests, sensitivity for each other's interests, and there has to be an adherence to agreements which were reached between us. And it is that departure from what was agreed between us which is today at the heart of the difficult phase that we are passing through with China. And the bottom line there is, at the end of the day, the state of the border will determine the state of the relationship, and the state of the border today is still abnormal.
All right, so that is External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and very interestingly saying that cross-border terrorism, unless stopped by Pakistan, there is no reason for us to normalize our relationship and start discussions with that nation. With China, he has said, the situation and our relationship is currently in a difficult phase, and the state of the border equation will really decide how we go ahead with it. Remember, this is clearly an assertive diplomacy as well. India is refusing to take any defensive stand anymore, whether it's with regard to Pakistan and with China as well. And what External Affairs Minister has said is primarily to say, until cross-border terrorism is stopped, relations with Pakistan will remain strained. Here are more reactions coming in. Let's listen into that.
For us, how Canada has dealt with the Khalistani issue has been a long-standing concern. Because very frankly, they seem to be driven by vote bank politics. And their responses have all been, to the best of my understanding, actually constrained by what they regard as vote bank compulsions on them. We made it very clear, and I've done so sometimes even in public, which is that if there are activities which are permitted from Canada, which impinge on our sovereignty, territorial integrity, on our security, then, we will have to respond. So it is something which is I would say, a continuing conversation with Canada, not always a satisfactory conversation. But it is something on which we have been very, very clear. And you can see that in many ways over the last few years it has impacted our ties.
Welcome back. Let's get your details of all the politics that's playing out over the freebie schemes in Karnataka. After the Siddaramaiah government said that we won't be able to procure the rice required to distribute to the people of Karnataka, they announced that they'd be giving cash instead. And the BJP has responded by saying that the Congress is now cheating the people of Karnataka.
The Anna Bhagya, 10 kilos of rice for poor families, was one of the key promises that powered the Congress to power in Karnataka. Now the Siddaramaiah government has tweaked its ambitious social welfare scheme to meet its July 1st deadline. The state government, which is struggling to source the 2.29 lakh metric tons of rice needed every month to fulfill its poll guarantee, will now pay 170 rupees to each BPL cardholder. This is equivalent to the price of 5 kilos of rice at a rate of 34 rupees per kilo. The scheme will cost the government 750 to 800 crore rupees per month. The Siddaramaiah government plans to invite tenders to procure rice in the coming months.
At the time being, we have announced that in July we are giving the rice. Instead of rice, we are starting until we will procure the rice. We are giving 1 kg 34 rupees. It is going to the card holder. This is the decision taken because of the BJP government.
It is unfortunate that Government of India through its FCI did not extend any type of cooperation. We are ready to pay 34, 35, whatever rate they quote, but they preferred to give rice to a private trader than to the state governments.
The BJP has accused the Congress of going back on their poll promises and cheating people.
They are going back to their words. State government and the chief minister, you should have made arrangements of the rices. It is not impossible. They have not done any sincere efforts. How much cash they are giving? 34 rupees. What is the market rate? Market rate is 50, 60 rupees. So, how much can a person buy from the money which these people give?
Facing flack from the BJP, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh accused the Narendra Modi government of stopping the Food Corporation of India from selling rice to the state at a fixed price of 34 rupees per kilo.
The Congress government in Karnataka has decided to swap rice with money, and this essentially means that the same amount that 5 kgs of rice would cost would be delivered to the bank accounts of BPL card holders, and this has triggered a wave of political reactions from BJP, with them calling this a political move. With video journalist Shivamurthy, Anaga Keshav for India Today, Bengaluru.
On the other side of a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime, I'll be getting you all the latest images coming in of the monsoons from across the country. And some states have been crippled already by the heavy rainfall, with landslides and floods being reported in many parts.
Andheri subway submerged. Colonies waterlogged. Roads submerged. India's financial capital, Mumbai, is on high alert as monsoon sweeps across the country. Waterlogging led to traffic jams in several areas on Wednesday. Water entered the police station in Manipur, where police personnel were seen working in water. The Met Department has predicted very heavy rain for Mumbai and central Maharashtra over the next 48 hours.
आने वाले 4-5 दिनों में महाराष्ट्र के कोंकण तट और अंदरी इलाकों, मतलब जो घाट परिसर है मध्य महाराष्ट्र का, वहां हमने भारी से अति भारी वर्षा, बहुत बार हेवी रेन का चेतावनी दिया है.
The rains have kept the BMC on its toes.
कि हमें अंदेशा है कि अगले 4 से 5 दिन हैवी रेनफॉल होने वाली है, तो आज हमने सुबह मैंने जो हमारे जितने फील्ड ऑफिसर हैं, वार्ड ऑफिसर्स, जोनल डिप्टी कमिश्नर्स, हमारे जो स्टॉर्म वाटर ड्रेन के सैकड़ों इंजीनियर्स और ये 480 जो मेंटर्स हैं, इंजीनियर्स हैं डी वाटरिंग पंप्स के, उनको मैंने एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में आदेश दिया है कि कोई भी ऑफिस नहीं बैठेगा, सब मुझे लोग फील्ड में चाहिए.
The rains have claimed one life in Mumbai. A 38-year-old man died in Malad after a tree fell on him. Every year, the authorities have failed the average Mumbaikar, making the monsoons a nightmare and at times even a death trap for the citizens. Bureau Report, India Today. While some Some of the drivers and conductors of Haryana roadways are infamous for their arrogance. Sukhbir Chotiwala is a pleasant aberration. Sukhbir, who hails from Rithal village of Rohtak, works as an operator of Haryana roadways. Working since 2017, Sukhbir makes sure his passengers are comfortable. In the scorching heat, Sukhbir serves water to all the passengers from his salary.
मेरी ड्यूटी जयपुर रूट पे लगी थी, सोनीपत से जयपुर। तो उस टाइम बहुत गर्मी थी, तो मैंने वहाँ देखा सवारी बच्चे पानी के लिए गर्मी में बहुत बुरा हाल था जी। तो मैंने सोचा ड्यूटी के साथ साथ क्यों ना थोड़ा ये धर्म पुण्य का काम भी हो जाए, और उसी दिन से आते मैंने 4 कैंपर खरीदे और अगले दिन मैं कैंपर ही लेके गया रूट पे, और ये जल की सेवा फिर वहीं से शुरू की जी।
Sukhbir's selfless act has impressed Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, who praised Sukhbir in a tweet and invited him to Chandigarh to felicitate him. No wonder Sukhbir's bus is a favourite among passengers amid the prevailing heat wave condition. Bureau Report, India Today.
It's the same story of inundation, of inconveniences to commuters and whatnot. And here on India Today, we've got you covered with the latest on the monsoons and how it's wreaking havoc in several parts of the country. Let's get you all the latest images. The first one coming in from Mumbai, where a tree collapsed in Baikula area. 2 boys were trapped underneath. One unfortunately died in this incident. Another was rescued and is undergoing treatment. A landslide, believe it or not, took place in the heart of Mumbai, in Borivali, very close to a newly built metro station, triggering panic among residents. Locals have alleged that the landslide occurred due to unchecked construction near the metro station. A landslide in Uttarakhand's Chamoli has blocked the Badrinath highway, leaving several tourists stranded. A video from the spot captured the moment when the mountain started to crumble and dust filled the air. No casualties have been reported. We'll get you a report from the ground in just a bit. As heavy rains lashed Gujarat's Junagadh, low-lying areas were completely inundated. Commuters were seen pushing their vehicles, which were stuck in several feet of rainwater. And an under-construction bridge collapsed in Chhattisgarh's Durg after the Shivnath River overflowed due to heavy rains. The 400-meter bridge was being constructed at an estimated cost of nearly 12 crore rupees. Now, there was a massive landslide that was reported in Chamoli of Uttarakhand. Work is underway to clear the debris. Amit Bharadwaj is joining us live from the spot. Amit, good evening. Take us through the latest update.
Well, Akshita, I'll straightly cut to the visuals that are coming from Chamoli's Chinka area. So the first landslide happened around 6 in the morning. It was a minor landslide, and around 9 and 10 a.m. in the morning, what we saw was two massive landslides where the operation is still going on. The district administration, the police and the NHAI is carrying out this operation. You can see heavy machineries taking out the debris from the road. This is the main Badrinath highway road, which has been blocked since 10 in the morning, or rather 9 in the morning. So it's been over 9 hours that the operation to get rid of the debris and the boulders and the stones which had come from the mountain to clear that out. Just to understand the intensity of this particular landslide, Akshita, the boulders and the stones which had come from the mountain had reached till the Alaknanda river bed. So it is that massive, and the biggest challenge that the administration is facing right now is that the moment they are clearing the landslide, because it's an active landslide spot, more boulders and stones come down from the mountain, blocking the road again. And what has happened in result is that kilometers of traffic jam has happened on this route. The tourists and the pilgrims who are coming from Badrinath Yatra, as well as those coming from the Hemkund Sahib, are stuck here since 9 in the morning. If Abhishek would pan the camera, you'll get to you'll get a sense of the situation as to how people are right now sort of frustrated as well, angry because of this blockade. This is up to several kilometers that the jam is there, and on the other side as well, people who were coming possibly to Badrinath, Hemkund Sahib, they are stuck on the other side of this particular area. Many of these people are complaining about lack of availability of water, food packets, which naturally happens in situation like this. क्या problems हो रही हैं आप लोगों को बताइए सर?
प्रॉब्लम ये हो रही है, सुबह 9 बजे से यहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर और चीफ सेक्रेटरी की तरफ से कोई भी यहाँ रेस्पॉन्स नहीं है. यहाँ पे आदमी को पानी की व्यवस्था नहीं है, खाने की व्यवस्था नहीं है. देयर इज नो अनाउंसमेंट फ्रॉम द मैं बॉम्बे से हूँ. देयर इज नो अनाउंसमेंट फ्रॉम द पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट.
Right, the people are angry because there's lack of resources. However, the administration is also asking them to move to the nearest homestays, hotels, because this might take another couple of hours. Back to you, Akshita.
All right, thanks Amit for getting us those voices from the ground and that update. Work on, as you can see there, to clear the debris as soon as possible, and you can only imagine the kind of inconvenience it's causing. As heavy rains lash several cities, our reporters are out there on the ground telling you what's happening in your city. Here is a roundup of all the latest reports.
We are right here at the Hindu Mill compound in Baikale East area of Mumbai, where during the rain, a tree falling incident has claimed yet another life of a 22-year-old boy called Rahman Khan, who died last night after this banyan tree right behind me fell. You can also understand and imagine the intensity with which it has also destroyed the shanties and the slums of those residing in the compound. Several crores of the BMC budget are spent every year, but however, nothing was done to vacate the family. His cousin, Rizwan Khan, the 20-year-old boy, is currently under treatment, while Rahman lost his life yesterday night. 2 others were also rescued and pulled out from under the tree by the fire brigade officials late night. You can also see the grills, the several remnants of the home. There is a chapel lying here. There are utensils and vessels. However, this comes on a very unfortunate day as Muslims celebrate Bakri Eid. Whether the BMC has shirked away from its responsibility and not done its job or not, that is for later to be decided. But you can also see how the tree branches are dangling over the grills, tearing out the entire house. There is a cupboard right there, several personal belongings jutting outside the house. And if once again I can also show you the way in which it has been uprooted, this will also give you an idea in terms of the intensity of the impact of the tree fall. With cameraman Sahil Chavan, Dev Kotak for India Today, Mumbai.
We are in the suburban area of Borivali in Mumbai, and right behind me is the newly constructed metro station by the name Magathane. Now, a landslide that has occurred in this area has caused and triggered panic among hundreds of the families and the residents that are staying nearby this newly constructed metro station. While the authorities maintain that this landslide occurred due to the bursting of the water pipeline. As you can see on your screen, water is still gushing out. But the residents maintain that this landslide occurred due to unchecked development by the developer in this very area. Even though the machines are at work, damage control is going on, but as you will see, the northern gate of the Magathane metro station and the lifts have been shut down for now. Many of the residents maintain that they are having sleepless nights. They have complained to the Mumbai Municipal Corporation and the Mumbai Police as well, and they say they are expecting action on part of the authorities. With camera person Siddesh Asgekar, this is Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, reporting for India Today.
अभी हम दिल्ली के खानपुर इलाके में एमबी रोड पर हैं, जहां पर कि क्या स्थिति हुई है बारिश के बाद उसकी तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखाते हैं। यहां पर आप देख सकते हैं लंबा जाम जो है वो लगा हुआ है। दोनों तरफ की तस्वीरें आप देखेंगे, लंबा गाड़ियों का जो है तांता लगा हुआ है। वहीं जलभराव भी हुआ है, आप देखेंगे नीचे सड़क पर जलभराव हुआ है। वहीं यहाँ पास की मार्केट है, वहाँ आप देखेंगे जो पास की मार्केट है, दुकानों के करीब तक पानी पहुँचा हुआ है और कईयों के दुकानों के अंदर भी पानी घुस गया है। हालांकि बरसात होने के बाद जो एक कर्मचारी हैं सिविक एजेंसियों के, वो मौके पहुँचे हैं और पानी निकासी की जो है काम कर रहे हैं, जिसके बाद पानी कुछ कम हुआ है। लोगों का कहना है कि सुबह में काफ़ी यहाँ पर पानी भर गया था। वहीं इस बारिश के बाद जो जाम की स्थिति है वो तस्वीरों में आप देख सकते हैं। लंबा जाम जो है एमबी रोड पर आपका तिगरी से लेकर अंबेडकर नगर के बीच, यानी 1.5 से 2 किलोमीटर तक लंबा जाम जो है वो लगा हुआ है।
On the other side of a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime, we'll get you horrifying images that have come in from Paris as people took to the streets leading to arson and assault. What happened? What triggered this protest? We'll tell you in just a bit.
Mark Zuckerberg honing his mixed martial arts skills, sharpening his jujutsu moves, getting ready to take on Elon Musk. It's not just the rumored Threads, a microblogging platform Meta is developing as a rival to Twitter. The two tech billionaires are, if reports are to be believed, getting ready for a caged fight. It all started last week with Elon Musk responding to a tweet about Meta working on a Project 92 to challenge Twitter. Elon's response? He was up to a caged match if Zuckerberg was. The dare was immediately accepted by Zuckerberg, who took to his own platform, Instagram, to respond, putting the ball back in Musk's court. The next few days were filled by taunts from the Tesla CEO, even asking the Meta founder to go full MMA, leaving netizens salivating over a tech billionaire showdown. Musk also hinted the caged match could be at celebrated Las Vegas fighting venue, the Octagon. He then tweeted, "I have this great move that I call the walrus, where I just lie on top of my opponent and do nothing." Head-to-head, the two opponents could not be more different. Musk towers over Zuckerberg's 5 feet 8 inch frame by more than 5 inches. Musk is also much heavier than Zuckerberg. But the Twitter owner is also 13 years older than the Facebook prodigy. Musk is twice as rich as Zuckerberg, but is a novice in MMA, while Zuckerberg is a trained jiu-jitsu fighter. Musk, it seems, is not taking the challenge lying down. He already started training with Lex Friedman, who posted images of the sessions on Twitter and commented that he was extremely impressed with Musk's strength, power and skill on the feet and on the ground. Musk also seemed to be in talks with the legendary UFC coach Georges St. Pierre for some training sessions ahead of the purported caged fight. Though the jury is still out on whether the challenge is real or just limited to online sparring, the highly competitive nature of the two entrepreneur geniuses will ensure the entertainment lasts for some time. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Quality today. In Delhi, 133. In Mumbai, 29. In Kolkata, 58. In Bangalore, 54. In Chennai, 58. In Hyderabad, 19.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
Kerala's public health, all political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political black.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Welcome back. Let's get you the big international story of the day. A night of arson and rioting that was reported from the streets of Paris. After a teen's shooting, reportedly by the cops, protesters got onto the streets in large numbers. And the kind of images that have come to the fore are shocking.
Angry protesters set cars ablaze and shot fireworks at French police on Wednesday in the working-class Paris suburb of Nanterre. It was the second night of unrest following what President Emmanuel Macron called the inexcusable fatal shooting of a teenager during a traffic stop there. The shooting of the 17-year-old, who was of North African origin, has fueled long-running complaints of police brutality in the ethnically diverse suburbs of France's biggest cities. A police officer is being investigated for voluntary homicide for shooting the teen, whose name was given only as Nael. Prosecutors say he failed to comply with an order to stop his car, but a lawyer for the family referred to a video shared on social media that showed an officer shooting at the driver at close range, saying, quote, "You can see that the shooting is not within the rules." Macron appealed for calm as he made the rare criticism of law enforcement after the shooting. Two leading police unions have fought back, saying the detained officer should be presumed innocent until found otherwise. A woman, identified as the victim's mother, has called on social media for a memorial march on Thursday in Nanterre, saying, "We will lead a revolt for my son."
That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. On the other side, Preeti Chaudhary joins you with the latest of what's happening in Manipur.
Eleven priests booked after high drama unfolds at the Chidambaram Natarajan temple in Cuddalore. Government officials entered the Kanagasabha, or the holy platform of the temple, which was closed off for devotees by the priests of the temple for 4 days. Officials first offered prayers and then ensured other devotees could enter amid protest by angry Dikshitars, the priests who manage the temple. The priests of the Chidambaram temple accused the officials of manhandling young boys while entering the platform. The priests justified blocking devotees, citing security reasons. They claimed that with expensive jewellery kept in temple, they did not want to take a chance.
This has turned into a huge battle, as the epitome was a recent struggle where the Podidikshitars said that due to security reasons, devotees cannot be allowed to climb atop the Kanagasabha. Kanagasabha means a golden platform, but the HRNC went ahead and said that such decisions cannot be taken only by the Podidikshitars, and they have to discuss about it with the HRNC board, and that turned out to be a huge issue.
Devotees now are entering the temple's holy golden platform as Dikshitars allowed entry later. The Dikshitars have accused the Stalin government of illegally grabbing the temple.
It is an illegal grabbing of administration attempt by the Tamil Nadu government, more precisely the HRNC department. On 6/1/2014, the Supreme Court has given a final quietus to this struggle, as we can say that. They say that the Dikshitars are denomination sect and they have protection under Article 26. Therefore, they have got a right to administrate this temple.
The BJP has condemned the police entry into the temple premises.
Sagar Babu says, we are going to take over the temple. If we want to take over the temple, it is under the order of Supreme Court. Supreme Court said the Chedars are entitled to maintain the temple. If you want to taking over the temple, you have to file review petition before the Supreme Court, not from the backdoor entry. They are putting unwanted cases, fake cases.
Showdown over the historic temple is clearly turning uglier by the day.
The HRNC claims that all measures are being taken to take control of the temple, but the Dikshitas claim that already Supreme Court has called them a denominated community and the governance of the temple belongs to them. Zibyan, Pramod Madhav, for India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 38 and minimum 26 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 26 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 35 and minimum 26 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 27 and minimum 22 degrees. Chennai, maximum 36 and minimum 29 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 32 and minimum 24 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
Pokerbazi, you hold the cards.
Good evening, you're watching Mission 2024. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. We have in just a few minutes joining us the newly minted Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, T.S. Singh Deo. But first up, let me quickly take you through the headlines. BJP hits out at Rahul Gandhi's Manipur visit, calls it attempt to incite violence. Congress claims Rahul convoy deliberately blocked in Manipur. Political showdown over Prime Minister's UCC pitch. Stalin, Akali hit out at Prime Minister Modi. Aam Aadmi Party extends support to centre over UCC plan. Monsoon mayhem across India. Massive landslides in Uttarakhand. Killer tree fall kills a teenager. Day after calling Siddaramaiah a scared Chief Minister, DKS fires another fresh salvo, says some work hard while others enjoy privilege. Congress puts out Chhattisgarh fire 6 months before polls appoints Baghel rival as Deputy CM. Baghel and Deo put up a united front. Deputy CM Deo joins us live on Mission 2024. Amit Shah kicks off Mission 2024 in Bihar just days after mega opposition meet in Patna. Says Nitish Kumar should rethink RJD alliance. Wreckage of Ocean Gate's Titanic tourist submersible retrieved in Canada. Possible human remains of 7 civilians killed also found in wreckage. All right, a top story from Manipur. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's visit to violence-struck Manipur was quick to hit a major roadblock. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi reached Churachandpur and will meet people displaced by the ethnic strife at relief camps. He flew to Churachandpur after being stuck at Bishnupur for hours as his convoy was stopped by the police. As per cops, Rahul Gandhi's convoy was stopped at Bishnupur over security concerns. They say he was offered a chopper, which he refused to take. Not just this, but activists also tried to break through the barricades, and there were two sides to that. One side screaming, Rahul, go back. The other wanting Rahul to come. Meanwhile, the police did fire tear gas to disperse the protesters who had gathered. Also, after facing backlash, Rahul Gandhi went back to the airport in Imphal from Bishnupur. From there, he took a chopper and right now is meeting families in Churachandpur because that is where the relief camps have been set up.
They will not move in. Let one of our representatives go with them to see the blockade visual. Show us the blockade. Show us the blockade. Okay. Yeah, I would like that would be. I would like to the ESP. I would like to the ESP and the. Just show us the blockade. थोड़ा आगे. Yes. पीछे हो थोड़ा सा. PTI थोड़ा पीछे. हाँ थोड़ा पीछे हो.
My colleague Maushmi, who's been tracking Rahul Gandhi's convoy in Manipur, is joining us live right now. Maushmi, you know, Rahul Gandhi has landed right now in Churachandpur. We've seen images of him at the relief camp. What's the latest?
So finally, after the political drama that unfolded at Bishnupur, Rahul Gandhi has reached Churachandpur, and there he's meeting families of victims who have been witnessing a lot of violence. He is going to the relief camps and talking to people. So there, you know, Rahul Gandhi putting out a tweet saying that the Manipur government tried to stop him and the Congress party was here to heal. It's about making peace the priority. So clearly, you know, the Congress trying to draw a distinction about the kind of politics that BJP does, that is the hate politics, and the kind of politics of love that the Congress does. And earlier in the day, with the entire, you know, drama unfolding at Bishnupur, finally it was via chopper that Rahul Gandhi was allowed to go to Churachandpur. But importantly, we will have to see how he really balances this entire act, because that is majorly Kuki dominated area, and beyond that towards Imphal is the Meitei dominated area. So we are told that Rahul Gandhi will also visit the Meitei camps and meet the victims there.
Maushmi, you know, the Congress and the Congress MP, in fact, Rahul Gandhi tweeted a short while ago saying the government's trying to stop him. However, you know, back in Delhi, there have been multiple press conferences by the BJP saying that nobody's trying to stop him. But because the situation is very fragile, he was told to take a chopper. What exactly is the ground situation? What happened there?
So allegations and counter allegations are flying high and thick and fast, but importantly, you know, the fact is that the Congress, when it decided that Rahul Gandhi will visit Manipur, this visit was in the eye of the storm. The BJP has been slamming Rahul Gandhi, you know, for meddling into the affairs of other states, and also, you know, going where the bad news is and always finding fault with his own country. So this time round, when he reached Manipur, with whatever happened during the day, the BJP got fresh ammunition to attack Rahul Gandhi and say, see, I told you, the people didn't want him there. So a lot of, you know, political upmanship happening between the two parties, and Rahul Gandhi finally breaking his silence and puts out a tweet stating that, you know, I've reached here in Manipur, and we should talk to the people of Manipur, and we should heal the people of Manipur. So Rahul Gandhi there, you know, this is not the first time when Rahul Gandhi has been kept in charge of, you know, attacking the failed policies of Modi government. And this time round, you know, Manipur is a state where the BJP has maintained a very strong hold. So before the Lok Sabha elections, this is not great news for the BJP with the state of affairs in this part of the country.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Maushmi. We're going to continue to come back to you, but right now what we can say is Rahul Gandhi has reached Churachandpur, and that is where he's meeting families, all of those who've been rehabilitated in camps in strife-torn Manipur. Meanwhile, back in the national capital, a full-blown political war erupted over Rahul Gandhi's visit to the state. Congress accusing the centre of blocking Rahul Gandhi. The party saying that the centre is using autocratic methods to block Rahul, who was being the the messenger of peace. Meanwhile, BJP also held a press conference taking on Rahul and the Congress. BJP alleging Rahul Gandhi insisted on taking the road route despite being asked to fly via chopper. BJP has called Rahul's visit a visit for petty political gains. Listen in.
I always say Rahul and responsibility never travel together. He has again proved the same today. He should have been more responsible, more sensitive towards the issue of Manipur. यही अगर राहुल जी सुबह करते, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की बात मानते, हेलीकॉप्टर से चुराचांदपुर जाते, तो आज मणिपुर, आज जो टीयर गैस चले हैं, आज जो स्थिति थोड़ा तनावपूर्ण इम्फाल में बना है, ये मणिपुर में नहीं होता। और हाथ जोड़ के कहना चाहते हैं, the situation is coming under control. Let's not fight for petty political gains.
उस काफिले को क्यों रोका गया? पहले इसी प्रशासन ने कहा आप बाय रोड जा सकते हैं, वहां से उनको रोक दिया जाता है, और प्रशासन जिसने परमिशन दी थी, ऑब्वियसली उनके पास ऊपर से फोन आता है, उनके पास तानाशाहों का फोन आता है। किसी से मुलाकात करना आज पाप है, भाईचारा फैलाना पाप है। इसके बारे में जवाब एक निरंकुश तानाशाह और उसकी बर्बर सरकार को जरूर देना पड़ेगा।
जून 13 से 13 जून से अब तक शांति थी। किसी प्रकार की कोई बड़ी घटना, दुर्घटना और किसी की जान नहीं गई थी। और मुझे दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है, आज सुबह एक व्यक्ति के जान के जाने की खबर है, दुखद खबर है। और हाथ जोड़ के कहना चाहते हैं, the situation is coming under control. Let's not fight for petty political gains. राहुल जी की ये behavior, it was highly irresponsible. I always say Rahul and responsibility never travel together. He has again proved the same today. He should have been more responsible, more sensitive towards the issue of Manipur.
तानाशाह को लगता है अगर भारत जुड़ गया और भारत जोड़ने पर यह आदमी आमादा है, तो कहीं ना कहीं मेरी जो नफरत और डर के बूते पर बनाई हुई इमारत है वो ध्वस्त हो जाएगी, और वो ऑलरेडी ध्वस्त होना शुरू हो गई है। राहुल गांधी जी इस देश के एक हिस्से में उन लोगों से मिलने गए हैं जो 2 महीने से पीड़ित हैं। किसी से मुलाकात करना आज पाप है, भाईचारा फैलाना पाप है। इसके बारे में जवाब एक निरंकुश तानाशाह और उसकी बर्बर सरकार को जरूर देना पड़ेगा।
All right, from Manipur, let's shift to Chhattisgarh. Less than 6 months, 3 months from now, the state of Chhattisgarh is going to be in active election mode, and the Congress has appointed a new deputy CM. T.S. Singhdeo, who's been fighting a very, very long battle to what he said was his due as Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, where Mr. Baghel was given that position, has finally been instated as Deputy Chief Minister of the state. The word came in from the Congress late last night in an official letter. Joining us in a short while, in fact, I just spoke with him a short while from now, was Mr. T.S. Singhdeo, the Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh. All right, joining me now is the newly minted Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, T.S. Singhdeo, joins us live. Appreciated, sir. I believe you're going back to Sarguda after you've been, given the Deputy Chief Minister status. Congratulations, but 6 months, less than 6 months before elections, Mr. Deo, do you also find it a little strange?
Whatever comes, whenever it comes, one takes it in one stride. And it is not really any new or a responsibility that is beyond what was already there. It is a little add-on in the sense that one was a member of the cabinet. Bhupesh Baghel ji had appointed me as a member of the cabinet. And now the High Command, with consultations with him too, and our state in charge, they have appointed me the Deputy Chief Minister. So I am extremely grateful.
But Mr. Deo, I know you're traveling, so we're getting a bit of a video break. But having said that, the fact is, questions will be raised, Mr. Deo, that is this what T.S. Singhdeo wanted?
Or was this that, his entire fight for internally, because you were never quite out in the open, you respected the party line, the party whip, the high command, you waited your turn. But was this the ultimate aim, to be deputy CM? Many would have thought that there was a power sharing arrangement that was promised to you.
I will always respect the final call that the party takes, the decision that the party makes, and whatever they delegate as a responsibility. For everyone, why me as an exception? The sky is the limit. Aspirations are there. Situations come about. There is talk in the media and otherwise there are possibilities. So that's okay. That's okay in itself. But when it comes to converting it into an opportunity to work, then being a member of the Congress party, it is for the high command to decide who is to be given which responsibility, where and when. So I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm completely comfortable with that. If they found it opportune to give me this responsibility at this juncture, it's absolutely okay.
Mr. Deo, may I ask you a direct question? Were you promised a power sharing arrangement with Mr. Baghel?
I don't think I'm free to make a comment on that at this moment. Sometime maybe.
But, by not commenting, you've made yourself clear. But the fact is you've accepted the decision of the High Command, which was the Deputy Chief Minister that you've got, sir. But, the BJP is also, there's enough talk of the fact that it didn't come from Mr. Baghel. This should have been an announcement that should have been made by Mr. Baghel, but it came in from the High Command as such. Do you see, do you see that a bit jarring?
No, in the sense that what I have seen of the arrangement, it is the party structure which makes the announcement as to who is to be the leader of the house. It is not nominated or appointed otherwise. We have a system where MLAs are consulted, etc. But eventually it is the party organization.
Mr. Deo,
they take a call and they make the decision.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, Mr. Deo, is this the template now that will be followed possibly if Congress makes a comeback in Chhattisgarh? And would you be content with this template? Do you think it could change? Are you still going to ask for what was due to you the last election, which was Chief Minister?
I didn't ask for being made the Chief Minister even then. 4 of us had been called to Delhi. We were summoned. Mr. Charandas Mahant was there, Tamradar Sahuji was there, Bhupesh Bhai was there, and myself. So we were summoned by the party. But on the 14th of December 2018, the results counting had been completed on the 11th of December. So I didn't ask for anything, frankly. So if the High Command ever takes into consideration that one or more people would be considered for a particular responsibility, that's perfectly all right. If it's a call to one person, that's perfectly all right. If more than one person, that's perfectly all right.
If the Congress wins Chhattisgarh again, will you be content with Deputy CM shit? Because it seems that the template has been set, sir.
I will be content with everything and anything that the party high command decides.
Okay. I'll ask you 2 final questions, Mr. Baghel. The Chief Minister, Mr. Baghel, just a short, while back, Mr. Deo, has put out a tweet welcoming somebody from the BJP, Nand Kumar Sai, who comes from where you come from, sir. And he's been given the cabinet minister rank. Do you see that, Mr. Baghel, possibly trying to set up somebody in your own backyard against you, or do you see it all friendly?
I don't feel that at all, frankly. He would not fit into that sort of a role as a leader who would be replacing me in my area, so to say, if those things are there. I would not like to say I'm a leader of that nature, etc. We do have our sphere of influence. That's okay. And Mr. Sai, Nand Kumar Sai, comes from the adjoining district. He is from the tribal community. He is a covered leader. So I don't see any conflict of interest with him.
Would you want to Mr. Deo, at this point, because you're Deputy CM now, want to dispense any advice at all to the likes of Mr. Sachin Pilot who find themselves in a possible similar conundrum?
Seek their support for the election. That is the immediate task in front of us. Before that, we have 3 months in which to deliver new proposals, new schemes, new works. Once the Code of Conduct steps in, then no new works are sanctioned. Old works, of course, will continue. So we have a 3-month window in which to sanction new schemes, new works,
Okay.
etc.
So I'll ask,
Then it is
right.
people the election.
Right. I'll ask you one quick question. Any word of advice for the likes of Mr. Pilot who was more vocal, way more vocal than you, but found himself in a similar conundrum?
A lot of potential and with a strong base in Rajasthan. I wish him well. I would certainly advise patience, something that people seem to say I have in abundance. That's another. But I am in touch with Sachin off and on. We do share a few words. And my advice to him will always be that I am sure, very sure, that with the potential that he has, with the mass support that he has, the base that he has, with the capacity, intellectual and capacity to think for the state that he has, I don't see anything coming in the way in times to come for him to be getting the top slot. I don't see anything in the way. So he should have complete trust in the High Command, leave it to them, maintain as much what we call patience as possible. And I certainly see every potential in him to be a possible Chief Minister in the near future.
Mr. Deo, the last time you were on my show, you said patience can be a vice.
I beg your pardon?
The last time you were on my show, you had said patience can be a vice, sir.
I don't know in what context I said that, but sometimes it is taken as a weakness. You should be able to introspect and see what you're doing and whether you are comfortable with that. You have Amitabh Bachchan as the angry young man, so sometimes the angry young man being angry may get you results. Sometimes.
Right, sir. We are losing you there. We are going back to Sargodha. But I wish you well, Mr. Deo. Lots of luck. You have 3 months before you actually get into active election mode. And, your deputy CM, sir, patience, like you said, you have an abundance that's paid off somewhere down the line. But has it paid off enough? Hopefully, we'll see you in a different role post the Chhattisgarh election. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Deo. Thank you. All right, with that conversation, I'm going to slip into a quick break. To stay with us on the other side is our fact check segment.
The India Today Group is pleased to announce the launch of a brand new online portal for our Best Colleges survey, featuring 6 years of ranking data as well as a wealth of granular information on thousands of institutes of higher learning. Our interactive portal offers easy access, analysis and guidance to our Best Colleges of India survey results for over 2,000 colleges across 14 streams. We invite everyone to visit our site, bestcolleges.indiatoday.in, and we wish aspiring students all the very best.
People often donate heart and eyes, but now you can also donate your skin. North India's first skin bank is ready in Delhi Safdarjung Hospital. Eligible disease donors can donate skin and give someone a new lease of life. Burn victims can immensely benefit from these skin banks for their graft surgeries.
स्किन बैंकिंग में ये खास बात है कि इसमें कोई मैचिंग की जरूरत नहीं है। कोई भी पेशेंट स्किन डोनेट कर सकता है। उस मरीज की उस डिजीज की दी हुई स्किन किसी भी दूसरे मरीज में इस्तेमाल हो सकती है। ना कोई ब्लड ग्रुपिंग मैचिंग चाहिए, ना कोई और HLA मैचिंग चाहिए। और जिसमें ये स्किन हमने लगाई है उसको जीवन में कोई स्टेरॉइड और इम्यूनोसप्रेसेंट्स खाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
Safdarjung Hospital authorities are also doing everything they can to make people aware about skin donation. With the help of specialized equipment and proven techniques, donated skin is processed and stored in bank before transplantation.
इतने सारे वार्ड्स हैं जो भी नए डॉक्टर्स ज्वाइन करते हैं, जूनियर रेजिडेंट्स हैं, वो ज्वाइन करते हैं, तो उनको सेमिनार्स लेके, उनको इन्फॉर्म करके, उनको बताया जाएगा। डेथ फॉर्म है, जब हम लोग उसको साइन करते हैं तो उसमें भी हम सोच सकते हैं कि हम उसमें भी ऐड करा दें कि हम आई डोनेशन के लिए विलिंग हैं और स्किन डोनेशन के लिए विलिंग हैं।
As of now, there are 16 skin banks across the country, and here's hoping that this latest center in Delhi opens the doors for many more such skin banks in India. With Neetu Jha, Bureau Report, India Today.
You are watching Fact Check segment where we bust fake news. On 23rd June, Russia's private military group Wagner sent an armored convoy towards Russian capital Moscow in what was widely regarded as a mutiny against Russian President Vladimir Putin. The rebellion, however, fizzled out when Wagner chief Prigozhin agreed to go into exile and ordered his men to return to their bases. Several videos allegedly showing this clash have since gone viral on social media, including this one which claims to show a fight between the Russian Air Force and Wagner soldiers. However, India Today's investigation found that the footage is actually a video game simulation from Arma 3, a military tactical shooting video game. This fact check on viral fake news is done by India Today's team Afwa. With that, a quick break. Stay with us for the news and updates. This is AI Sana signing off.
One of the best apps available right now for digital detox is certainly Flipped. You can join groups with people and give each other challenges just like on other apps. With this digital detox app, you can customize how much screen time you spend each day. All social networking apps will disappear after the timer expires for the specified period of time, but calls and messages will still be functional. The Flipped app is designed to increase your productivity. For instance, when you're studying for an exam, to improve attention and relaxation, you can use the relaxing soundtracks that are already included with the app. The tunes on the app are lovely, with sounds that range from crackling fires and even mild rain. Number 5. Well, this one isn't an app, but if you use an iPhone, then this is a nifty feature. Focus mode, and I'm using it right now. By switching on this mode, you can shut down your work apps for the weekend, turn off notifications when you're working or even sleeping. You can decide when to get email notifications and when you want to take specific calls, etc. It's like a much more effective and specific DND mode that you can use for work or play. Couple that with screen time notifications telling you you've been spending way too much time on Instagram, and it changes the user experience altogether. So there you go, my top 5 ways to ensure technology augments my daily routine but also lets me live under a rock when I need to. That's me signing off, and we hope you stay safe and that these tips come in handy.
Powered by
The world comes together at Sharda University.
Bajaj Allianz Life Diabetic Term Plan. SBI Mutual Fund, a partner for life.
UBI, अच्छे लोग अच्छा बैंक.
It's Mission 2024, and the road to it passes through elections in many states this winter. The massive election machinery of the BJP is getting serviced. The Prime Minister has held meetings with Amit Shah, JP Nadda, BL Santosh and other office bearers. Agenda, elections, party strengthening and government. Big changes expected in government and party. Party state units to witness sweeping changes. BJP divides India into 3 sectors, North, South and East. 6th, 7th and 8th July, JP Nadda to hold meetings with party organisation heads and office bearers. 4th July, Nadda may hold meeting with party MPs. Report card of MPs up for discussion. In the face of a possible Mahagathbandhan, the BJP pulling out the stops. Prime Minister launches Mera Booth Sabse Mazboot campaign. The Congress, meanwhile, finally seems to have a poll plan. The party set to replicate Karnataka victory model. Local leadership not Gandhi's focus of campaign. Candidate selection not on loyalty but on internal survey. Rejig in state units to stem lethargy and favoritism. To run a hyper-local election with guaranteed deliverables. Strengthen booth-level reach. Identify chinks in incumbent BJP state government armour and build campaign. All attempts to quell internal factionalism. Bigger role for Priyanka Gandhi. A more ideological role for Rahul Gandhi. State elections in less than 6 months. General elections in less than 1 year. Mission 2024 is truly afoot.
Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Mission 2024 truly afoot. The blueprint been worked on where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. It's always had a very well-oiled election machinery. It's just got in for a bit of servicing. The Congress has an entirely new blueprint, Benny would suggest, based on the Karnataka blueprint. Will it be workable? What we're going to do in the course of the next 25 minutes is to break down and get you the inside scoop on what these two parties are planning. Let me quickly bring in my colleague Poulomi Saha, who tracks the BJP very closely. Poulomi, what does it look like where the BJP is concerned? A big meeting which happened late last night. What are you picking up from your sources where the BJP's poll plan is in question?
Well, Preeti, this was not the first meeting. This was part of a series of meetings. Of course, it was, there was a lot of spotlight on this meeting because it involved the Prime Minister, but before that there was a series of meetings which lasted many long hours that happened between JP Nadda, Amit Shah, BL Santosh, and in the last meeting RSS's Arun Kumar also joined in. Basically, this is to give a whole rejig to the organization. This obviously is an exercise that started after the Karnataka election results, where obviously the BJP suffered a jolt at the hands of the Congress party. So they're looking at organizational changes, keeping in mind the assembly elections that are to come up at the end of this year. Also the Odisha election, which is to come up along with the general elections of 2024. So they're looking at many, changes. And then, of course, possible rejig in the cabinet. That is being looked at simply because of the reason that you might want to pull in some people from the Union Council of Ministers into the party and the organization to focus on the party's work ahead of 2024. For instance,
are we going to see a cabinet reshuffle very soon, Poulomi?
It is not exactly as part of, it's not an entirely separate exercise, like I was saying. For instance, if you move a Dharmendra Pradhan to the ground, saying go focus on the work in Odisha, that doesn't mean that he's been demoted or, it's a jolt for him, etc. He's just been pulled into the organizational work of the party. on the ground in Odisha, which goes into assembly polls, and obviously there are general elections as well. Same goes for, there's been a lot of speculation, though the BJP in charge Tarun Chugh for Telangana denies it, that Bandi Sanjay, who's the state president of the BJP, could be removed. G. Kishan Reddy, who is Minister for Culture right now in the Union Council, could be asked to step in as state president of Telangana, because Telangana goes into polls by the end of the year. But all of that, we're hoping that there'll be
Will there be a lot of changes, Polami, when it comes down, especially because state elections are also in order? Will there be adjustments made, for states in like Madhya Pradesh?
Of course. You'll need a lot of people. You'll need new general secretaries. That's what we're hearing. At least 3 new general secretaries, possibly 2 new national secretaries as well, wherein they will be given a little bit more on their plate in terms of these poll-bound states, in terms of the work that will be given to them to be focused more on these assembly elections and subsequently, of course, the general elections.
I just want to pull in Dr. Syed Zafar Islam into the conversation. We are waiting for Supriya Shrenet and Rajdeep Sardesai as well. But Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, is the BJP even mildly spooked with what went down in Patna and what possibly could go down? We still don't know, either in Bangalore, Shimla or Jaipur. But having said that, the formidable might of the Mahagathbandhan, if they do unite, has it spooked the BJP into at least looking at a battle of their lifetime going into 24?
Well, you can call it formidable, but we don't see it as formidable. We see it's a fragmented opposition. They are all driving their own interests, and there is no meeting of minds. So even though they are meeting not for unity but formality, and eventually they will go in different ways, because everyone has certain aspiration, rightly so, because all the political parties will have certainly, and their leaders will certain responsibility towards their party, and of course they will have some aspiration as well to go up in the ladder and become something or the other. So it is very difficult for everyone to have a meeting of minds and agree on one name. Even they couldn't pick a convener. So there were a lot of difficulties in terms of proposing whose name needs to be proposed. So there were certain names which were proposed was not acceptable to many political parties. It is difficult, but let's see how it goes. All we can say that we are not overly concerned about the opposition.
But Dr. Islam, let's just talk about what could be your primary opponent, and that seems to be the Congress right now. If the Congress relies on the Karnataka template, now that template really did succeed for the Congress where Karnataka was concerned. Small, things if you look at the sheer fact that this time they're very clear that ticket distribution only happened on internal surveys and nothing to do with favoritism and other dynamics. All of that put together does stitch a campaign which can be, if not smart, but something to contend with.
We exactly know what exactly we need to do on the ground. See, we have lost Karnataka election doesn't mean that we do not have a very well-oiled machine to fight the election. We have very senior people who have the huge experience, like Mr. Amit Shah ji, who is the Home Minister. Number of elections he has fought is unthinkable for other political parties to even match his the kind of success he has demonstrated. Purely because he understands the dynamics, he understands the ground, and he always not hesitated in taking the firm call. This time also, even though we have lost the election, we understand that we have lost the election, but our vote percentage had not come off in Karnataka. There are certain things which has worked against us. We will definitely, those concerns we will address.
Okay.
But we are not overly concerned about unity, formality, or coming together. We know exactly, we have the confidence of the people of this great country, and there is a lot of admiration and for the Honorable Prime Minister. His
Dr. Islam,
leadership is
one would think that the BJP fights every election like its life depends on it. That has been your mantra and possibly something that's worked for you. I just want to bring in our other guests into this conversation. Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, joins us, as well as Supriya Shrenet from the Congress spokesperson. But Rajdeep, yesterday we were in the studio discussing the Congress's the inside details, poll plan, what could it tantamount to in the days to come. We have the BJP's possible blueprint right now. And if you look at it, it's always been a well-oiled election machinery. It just needs a bit of tweaks here and there, and they're ready to go, it seems.
Look, the BJP is far superior to its political rivals when it comes to resources, when it comes to micromanagement, and when it comes to the leadership that it has at the center. The Congress, on the other hand, is learning over time to borrow in a way from the BJP's playbook. For example, the Congress has also now decided to set up mandal level committees. They've recognized, both parties have recognized, elections are won and lost increasingly at the booth level. Your ability to connect with voters. The BJP's advantage is that the BJP, because it has the resources and because it has this, as you said, a plan that they've already executed in the past, as we've seen in the last month with this Sampark Abhiyan. They've sent members of parliament to 2 constituencies across the country talking to booth level workers. Mera booth sabse mazboot doesn't just have the local leaders, but even every central minister and MP being sent to different constituencies, not just your own, but you've got to go and supervise what's happening in at least 2 other constituencies. Now, that level of outreach is very difficult for a party like the Congress to match. You've got 303 MPs of the BJP on one side, you've got 50 odd MPs of the Congress on the other. So the huge advantage that the BJP has of state power, resources, micromanagement, versus the Congress, which perhaps at the state level has one advantage at the moment over BJP, which is that they can successfully, possibly hyper-localize the campaign. The BJP's eggs are all in the Modi basket. What have they been doing in the last month? Going across the country saying, what have we achieved in the 9 years under the Modi government? Now, that might be successful for a Lok Sabha strategy. Right. But how do you tailor it for a Vidhan Sabha strategy when, let's say, governments like the Madhya Pradesh government may be suffering from fatigue and anti-incumbency? That's where the Congress is seeing an opportunity, and you're seeing the Congress now increasingly focusing on localizing and even hyper-localizing its campaign. So it's very interesting. You've got a hyper-localized, localized campaign of the Congress, and you've got the TMO, there is Modi only on the other side as far as the BJP is concerned, through the Labhartis and the various beneficiaries of government programs.
So, Prash, the fact is, drawing from what Rajdeep said, for the first time, I would reckon, when one has covered the Congress campaign, for the first time, one did see in Karnataka what could be the equivalent of a Panna Pramukh or a booth level in charge where Congress was concerned. So, yes, maybe you're getting it right there. But if you're going to use Karnataka as your template, how does that work in the Hindi heartland, where already, Mr. Nate, questions are being raised on the deliverables, on guarantees in Karnataka? Rajdeep in the next 1 hour is going to do a show where it comes down to the rice scheme in Karnataka, which is, facing its own issues in the state.
You've asked me a question that I wish somebody had asked me this evening, and thank you very much for asking me the question on Karnataka. I will first answer that question and then I will make the larger statement that I want to make. We had promised 10 kgs of rice to BPL families. It was called the Anna Bhagya Yojana. The BJP government told FCI not to sell rice to the Karnataka government. It is actually free to sell rice to private players. So we had to go back to the drawing board and we said, okay, you are going to create a hurdle. You are going to not permit us to give rice. We will give equivalent amount of money directly in the hands of people in their bank accounts. Now, the reality is when the BJP does something like this, it's absolutely anti-people, anti-poor. So you are trying to create a hurdle for the Congress government in Karnataka, but you know what? People are not impressed. People realize how crafty and cunning you're being. People realize how anti-people you are in your deft to put Congress in its place. But the reality is this will have electoral implications. No voter in India likes an arrogant political party. And that is true for voters in Karnataka and all across the country. You're going to create hurdles for pro-poor policies. These same people will teach you a lesson. You wait and watch. I hope I have answered that question and I hope I have answered it clearly. आप हमें 10 kg अनाज नहीं देने दीजिएगा, हम उसके बराबर पैसा देंगे, लेकिन लोग देखेंगे. I was hearing Rajdeep in your discussion, and apologies for joining 2-3 minutes late. I want to say something, and it may be the harsh truth and the BJP may not want to hear it. When you talk about this opposition and when you talk about 2024 and coming together and the Modi face and all of that, what Modi face are we talking about? The Prime Minister was decisively defeated in Himachal. He made the election all about himself. The Prime Minister was decisively defeated in Karnataka. The election was all about him, his face. The Prime Minister will be decisively defeated in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh and in Telangana. He can keep making the election all about himself. So India is actually very bored of the jumlas. The colossal jumlas are not serving the people. The people have seen enough you. And, just to take a cue from what both Zafar and Rajdeep were saying, you know, the Panna Pramukhs, the Mandals, Mera Booth Sabse Mazboot. Nobody, no voter in this country will tolerate that Manipur has been strife with violence, 130 people dead, thousands displaced, crores worth of property demolished and burnt, and the Prime Minister, instead of looking at Manipur and finding a solution and appealing for peace there, is doing an event which says Mera Booth Sabse Mazboot. Nobody will tolerate that. It will not even make you
as I bring in Zafar Islam back into the conversation, one second. Right. But Ms. Renate, do you at least admit that state election with what we are talking about and what you're talking about is a very different ball game when you go into a general elections where even in the states, ma'am, like Karnataka, that you won emphatically at that, most surveys suggested if this was a Lok Sabha election, it would have been a ticket which would have Modi on its face and possibly a vote on that.
I dispute you and I refute you, and I will tell you why. Because I was a part of the Himachal campaign. I was very involved in the Karnataka campaign. It was all about the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister put his face on the campaign. He called Himachal his second home. He said Karnataka is where the vote should be casted in somebody else's name, in my name and all of that. Look at what happened. People after 2 terms have become bored. They want you to show the report card. You continue to play the victim card after 9 years. Nobody is interested. Nobody is impressed. And that's the reality. And the reality also is when you block pro-poor policies like Anna Bhagya, the rest of the country sees it and sees you for your true colors.
Dr. Islam,
that's the reality.
Just about yesterday, you'd sung out Sara Zamana, Modi Ka Devana, but on the show tonight, you have Supriya Shrede who's countering it, saying there's a fatigue which is set in, where having Prime Minister on the ticket, be it state elections or going into 24, is concerned.
Well, time and again, she is referring to 2 election outcomes, the Karnataka and the Himachal Pradesh. She doesn't talk about the Gujarat election outcome where they were disseminated. And even those 2 states, the BJP has not lost the vote percentage. In fact, on the contrary, it has gone up a little bit, but it has not lost the vote percentage. Having said that, she also is making a statement that the outcome of the upcoming election, where I think she is going wrong because all the overconfidence she is trying to demonstrate here will actually backfire on them. Either Madhya Pradesh, whether it's Chhattisgarh, whether it's Telangana, whether it's any other state, all these states, Congress will have no leg to stand, and eventually you'll see that the campaign we will start. Today they are whatever they are talking, but they want to give a bad name to make a false allegation against our government, give a bad name and abuse the honorable Prime Minister, or nothing will work. We will see the outcome. We will win Madhya Pradesh. We are absolutely confident of winning Rajasthan. We are absolutely confident of winning Chhattisgarh. And we will make an impressive performance in Telangana as well.
Okay, you know, Rajdeep, I just want to bring in Rajdeep and follow me back into the conversation because, Rajdeep, do you see at least the Congress having a concerted roadmap in terms of every week now you see a meeting happening where, you know, there's one state that they're focusing on. There seems to be a game plan for each state, you know, diametrically different yet similar. With what happened late last night, you had Deputy CM being appointed, less than 3 months before Telangana goes into active election mode, less than 6 months before it goes into election.
It does appear so. You see, when you win an election, it gives you a certain momentum. It gives you possibly a formula, a playbook that you can try and implement in other states. And that's what they're attempting. And I think the key to it is, again, the fact that with Mallikarjun Kharge now as Congress president, the attempt to give the local leaders greater autonomy and empowerment. You see, always looking over your shoulder to what the Gandhis want, what they will do, has been the Congress's traditional way of operating. And therefore, you know, many of their decisions have often been taken at the last minute, always taken in Delhi. The sense one gets is whether it's a Gehlot, whether it's a Kamal Nath, whether it's a Baghel, whether it's even to some extent a Revant Reddy, number of the decisions that were only solely being taken in Delhi are now being taken through a organized, systematic, consultative manner, even with the state leaders. And I think that's the big difference when you empower. And that's the big difference at the moment between the Congress and the BJP. The BJP at the moment is doing exactly what the Congress used to do 30, 40 years ago. Always looking over their shoulder. What will Narendra Modi ji want? What will Amit Shah ji want? It's very much Delhi-centric. Modi, Shah, Nadda, Santosh, this quadrangle that decides the BJP decisions. Kharge does not have that same political heft, you could argue, which is why Kamal Nath perhaps could almost, have his own way of functioning in Madhya Pradesh. It may actually work to some extent at the state level. And I make that distinction again between state and Lok Sabha to the Congress's advantage in states, not necessarily in a Lok Sabha election.
And that's where, Paulomi, I want to bring you in, because what's interesting is this late meeting spearheaded by Modi. You have Mr. Shah there, of course, BL Santosh and the likes of JP Nadda. But having said that, it's what the Congress did earlier, where the High Command would take all the decisions and which would percolate to the states. And right now, the Congress has gone back into trying to create and invest into local leadership, but, completely opposite of what the BJP is doing.
You might say that yes, it is the top brass of the Bharatiya Janata Party which takes the final decision, but yes, there has been a process where they are, of course, seeking the suggestions, and the consultation is ongoing as well, as they, of course, speak to their state leaders, state presidents, people on the ground as well. For instance, even very recently, and in the case of Telangana, for instance, where they, like I was citing earlier, there has been some amount of internal resistance to Bandi Sanjay continuing on as the chief of the party. There have been those who've been turncoats who've come from the BRS, for instance, MLA Itala Rajinder. He was here in Delhi over the weekend and he was given an audience by JP Nadda and Amit Shah. Now, he is someone who is seen as a rival as far as Bandi Sanjay is concerned. There was another Komati Reddy as well, who came in, former MLA as well. He came in, given an audience by JP Nadda and Amit Shah. And after that, of course, Bandi Sanjay was called in. He came in on Tuesday, and then these reports were discussed with him. And then, of course, the speculation continues. Tarun Chugh, like I said, dismissing the possibility of Bandi Sanjay being removed so late into the day when Telangana is just around the corner, but again, speculation still rife that he could be replaced.
Well, speculations there, but Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, taking off from what we were discussing with Rajdeep and Polumi, it's interesting because the Congress used to do what you do, and the Congress has gone back to invest in regional leadership. Let's go ahead. You're looking at 3 big elections in the Hindi heartland. You have the likes of Kamal Nath, very clearly the front runner in Madhya Pradesh, where your political party still doesn't know whether it wants to go, behind Mr. Chauhan. On the other hand, Chhattisgarh, very clear leadership. Congress, very clear that they want to possibly settle Rajasthan as well. Will you actually win an election with Modi on the ticket in these states where you have strong central leadership from the Congress?
Well, Rajdeep has made certain statement that may not be true. It is just that he is speculating something which is factually incorrect. We give lot of importance. Lot means lot of importance to our ground level worker. Starting with Parna Pramukh at booth level, and their feedback is more important than feedback which is coming from the party leadership, local leadership. So it is very unfair to make that kind of statement that we only focus on the senior leadership and do not give it more attention to the state leadership, or for that matter, the local level leadership.
Tell us, for example, what is the status of Vasundhara Raje at the moment? I mean, I'm just asking you this out of curiosity in a way, because the fact is this has been a matter lingering for months. What is the status of Vasundhara Raje's leadership?
Rajdeep, if you pick one name, because it suits your narrative, I mean, I'm not going to respond to that, but let me tell you that she is a Karyakarta, and every Bharatiya Janata Party worker is a Karyakarta. They work, they will abide by the decision being made by.
Okay, Supresh Reddy wanted to come in, but let's cut across to the news break that we're just getting, and this is huge. The Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi has dismissed Senthil Balaji from the state cabinet. That's a big news break that is coming in right now. A governor dismissing Senthil from the state cabinet. We're going to cut across, get in the latest reactions coming in, but this is huge. What we are given to understand, the news that we are breaking right now, Mr. V. Senthil Balaji facing serious criminal proceedings in a number of cases of corruption. And this is a statement I'm reading out from the governor's office, it seems. Can a governor actually dismiss a cabinet minister? Many questions will be raised. I want to quickly bring in Rajdeep Sardesai into this conversation. Is bizarre what's what the news that we are breaking. Can a governor, Rajdeep, actually dismiss a cabinet minister no matter what the charges against him are?
Paulomi and I were trying to find out whether there's any precedence of a governor dismissing a minister without even informing the chief minister, or without the chief. It has to be done by the chief minister. Yeah. You see, the chief minister at the end of the day is the head of the council of ministers. That's like saying tomorrow the president of India dismisses a cabinet minister without Mr. Modi having any knowledge of it. We have been given an example, my colleague Sahil Joshi tells me, for example, Nawab Malik, the NCP minister in Maharashtra, was arrested by the EDA. The MVA kept him as the minister without portfolio. Mr. Koshyari couldn't one day just ring up or even without informing, just sending out a press release saying, I'm dismissing Nawab Malik. The chief minister is the head of the government. The governor's role can only come through a process of consultation on the recommendation of the chief minister, the council of ministers. So
for a minute I thought I was reading something wrong, because when we are breaking this news right now, bizarre, but we're going to try and get a larger understanding of what really has gone down. Pramod Madhav joins me right now with the latest bit of news as it's filtering in. Pramod, can you take us through the latest news break, please? Because this is bizarre. How can a sitting governor actually sack a minister?
Well, it absolutely is, and not just now. Earlier also, when Sendil Balaji was admitted to the hospital, the chief minister recommended that his portfolios must be given to two ministers. One was Tangam Tennarase and the other one was Muthuswamy. But at that point also, the governor stated that misleading information was provided. But without waiting for the governor's approval, the chief minister went ahead and he issued that the portfolios has been transferred to the two ministers. Then the governor also stated that the portfolios has been transferred. And now the governor has come forward and said that Sendil Balaji has been dismissed from the council. We are trying to find out if the government portfolio still carries Sendil Balaji as a council of minister or not. We are waiting for a reply from the DMK on this.
Well, this is going to be explosive, because clearly the DMK is not going to be taking it sitting down. But let's try and get in more reactions coming in. We have Mr. Satyam from the AIDMK. Initial reactions are what seems to be right now a little bizarre. A governor dismissing a sitting cabinet minister, no matter what the corruption charges have been against him. There's been precedent. But having said that, first reaction, sir.
I think governor is forced to act in this way, because the initial letter to M.K. Stalin, the chief minister, was he cannot continue as a minister because of moral turpitude, stating that he has got a history of misusing his power as a minister. He cannot continue. But having Mr. M.K. Stalin failed to act, I think governor has stepped into his shoes and taken this call. However, this will be fought in the judiciary moving forward. This shows how going loggerheads with the governor affects the state. DMK is setting a bad example.
All right, appreciate you joining us. I just want to go into a quick break, but viewers, M.K. Stalin has tweeted out just a short while ago, and he says it is our collective responsibility. All right, he's tweeted about Manipur there, but we're going to try and get in more coming in on that. This is big news that is breaking. Sitting governor sacking a cabinet minister. Well, that's exactly what's happened in the state of Tamil Nadu. Going into a quick break. On the other side, Rahul Gandhi takes over.
Addiction to mobile phones, gaming, all be at different degrees, it is a problem plaguing almost every family nowadays. Kids who simply won't get off the phones, much to the dismay of their parents. Pankaj Gupta is one of them. His 8-year-old son and 4-year-old nephew both have battled addiction.
जब से ये कोरोना काल चला है, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का प्रोग्राम जब से चला है, उसकी वजह से बच्चों को मोबाइल एडिक्शन लगा है। उसके बाद भी स्कूल वालों ने जैसे ऑनलाइन प्रोसेस रखा है अपना चालू, तो बच्चों को मोस्टली वर्कआउट जो है मोबाइल के कारण मिलता है, उसी कारण इनको मोबाइल एडिक्शन पड़ा है।
The addiction is to the level of the 4-year-old being able to unlock the phone and download games.
छोटे वाला है जो वो सोने के बाद मोस्टली लगता है, तो वो भी कई बार जैसे माँ बाप की आँख खुलती है, पता चलता है कि हाँ मोबाइल में लगा हुआ है। हमें कुछ भी नहीं करना पड़ता, बच्चे अपने आप ही सब कुछ कर लेते हैं। अच्छा। मोबाइल पे गेम्स डाउनलोड कर लेना, उसको चलाना, सब सीख जाते हैं अपने आप ही करते करते।
Experts say here are the signs to watch out to gauge if the child is addicted. The telltale signs are thinking about gaming all the time, losing interest in other activities, unable to quit playing or reduce screen time, using gaming to ease bad moods. It is no secret that mobile phones and gaming addiction is depriving kids of their childhood. The addiction, however, is hard to get rid of, but not impossible.
Safeguard young people on the interface that they have. I think that all of us have a role to play. Rather than just saying and telling a young person, don't use the phone, don't be online, don't play a game. I don't think that's the option here. The option should be effective usage of time and mindful about the content that you are absorbing and ensuring there is enough skill set that you have that you don't get the negative impact of what you are observing.
As of now, it looks like each and every lower middle class or middle class household in the country has one or multiple such devices. Kids growing up with such technology are getting addicted to it. Living in virtual reality is actually hampering their mental and physical growth, and this is a major cause of concern. With Sneha Mordani and Nasir Khan, this is Abhishek Anand reporting for India Today.